Hello, fellow compounders. What is the key element that you need to have to become a successful investor? Warren Buffett mentioned it in the 2017 Berkshire Hathaway shareholder meeting. He was talking about a money mind, or a money mindset as I call it. Today, I'll give you my take on what is the money mindset that you need to have to become a successful investor, and I'll provide tips on how to develop it. Welcome to the Always Be Compounding Club, where we share ideas on how to build, grow, and enjoy wealth. I'm your host, Dennis Chen. I'm a full-time investor and CFA charter holder. Welcome aboard. Let's get started. In a previous video about how to start investing in stocks in your 20s, which you can find here in this link, I mentioned the 4 elements needed to become a successful investor. One of these key elements is having a money mindset. So what does it mean to have a money mindset? Someone with a money mindset is someone who understands the inner workings of money and how it relates to the world. This understanding allows him or her to make good investment decisions. You could say that a money mindset is a way of thinking or a set of mental models and habits towards acquiring, accumulating, growing, and using money. J.L. Collins, in his book, A Simple Path to Wealth, said, "There are many things money can buy, but the most valuable of all is freedom. Freedom to do what you want and to work with whom you respect." Warren Buffett, when talking about getting a successor, said that the key element to be his successor is someone that has a money mind, which results in a good capital allocator.
Berkshire would not do well if somebody was put in who had a lot of skills in other areas, but really did not have an ability to capital allocation. I've talked about it as being something I call a money mind.
So what is a money mindset and how do you get it? The overarching goal of a money mindset is to always be compounding. This means that you to be constantly growing your wealth, or also growing spiritually, financially, and personally, except of course growing your waistline. The characteristics of a money mindset are: number 1, curiosity, the desire to understand things, to constantly learn. Do you remember when you were 4 years old and you just learned how to ask questions? My favorite question was why. My mom always said that I was really annoying, always asking why this, why that. I still have that habit today. I continuously ask why. Why does Starbucks sell wine? I always wanted to understand the reasoning behind something. And why stop at why? Why not also ask how, what, where, and who? Who came up with the idea of serving wine at Starbucks? What was the motivation? Where did they implement this? How did the program do? Be curious. It's a great way to learn. Here's an example on how to be curious. Last month, I went on a trip to Bogota, Colombia. I was in an Uber from the hotel to the airport. It was a very long drive in traffic of around 50 minutes. It was a relatively inexpensive trip, around $10. It got me thinking, how could this Uber person or this Uber ride be so cheap? With gas prices in the US at around $5 a gallon, how do they make money? What am I missing? As we passed by a gas station, I saw the price that said something in Colombian pesos equivalent to $2. And I'm thinking, it can't be right. $2 per gallon? I pay $5 in the United States, $5 per gallon. So I asked the driver, is that $2 per liter? He said, no, it's $2 per gallon. So after asking a couple more questions, I found out that gasoline in Colombia is subsidized, and it truly is $2 per gallon to the consumer. So that's why Uber drivers can charge so little, because their main cost, which is fuel, was much less than I had in my mind. So be curious. Always ask if something doesn't fit your mental model. Ask why, ask everything, ask away. There are no stupid questions, only stupid people because they are not curious. Number 2, rationality, critical thinking, fact-based analysis, and emotional control. Maybe it's too much under one heading, but I think they are all related. To make rational decisions, you must make sure that the data that you're using for the decisions is correct. This means that you need to be able to discern what is fact and what is fantasy. This is where critical thinking comes in, to determine what is truth and what isn't. Your ability to control emotions is important also to minimize biases and decisions that are driven by emotions. Practice getting the facts. When people give you information, ask yourself, is this information correct? Is it biased? Look for facts. Do your own analysis if you can. For example, the question, is Bitcoin a good investment? I would start by making sure I understand what investment means and apply the Bitcoin characteristics to the definition of investment. If it doesn't match, then Bitcoin isn't an investment. So let's follow the example. What is an investment? According to Ben Graham, an investment operation is one which, upon thorough analysis, promises safety of principal and an adequate return. Operations not meeting these requirements are speculative. So, if we take Bitcoin, does it promise safety of principal? The answer is no, I don't think so. Bitcoin's value is all extrinsic, meaning that it's worth what someone is willing to pay for it. There's no intrinsic value because Bitcoin doesn't generate any cash flow. So under our definition of investment, Bitcoin is not an investment, it's speculative. Another example. Last week, I was replacing the air conditioner in my home office. The AC guy was selling me a 24,000 BTU air conditioner for a 330 square feet room. I asked him, how did you come up with that sizing of a unit? He said, well, that's what you already had. I said, no, could you make sure that that's the correct size for my office? I'm having problems with condensation and high humidity. He said, yes, the size should be around 18,000 BTUs, but since you have a large window and afternoon sun exposure, it should be a bit bigger. I was a bit still skeptical because Googling it, the table said that a 12,000 BTU unit should be enough for a 500 square feet room. My room is 330 square feet. So I did more research, measured the room myself, and did some calculations. My conclusion was that I needed 9,000 BTU units, not 24,000. So after adjustments for large windows and sun exposure, a 12,000 BTU was more than enough. So also, the high humidity was a symptom that my old unit was too big. It cooled too quickly and didn't run long enough to dehumidify the air. So I got a second opinion. And the second opinion also said 24,000 BTU unit. So what did I do? I stuck to my calculations. Well, in my past life, I was an engineer, so I was correct. I bought a 12,000 unit, BTU unit, and it works great. You need to be able to do research and gather facts and make decisions based on facts, not what other people say. Understand the motivation of the seller. The AC probably wanted to sell me a bigger unit because it was more expensive. It's like going to the barber and asking the barber, do I need a haircut? What is he going to answer? Third characteristic of a money mindset: discipline, determination, patience, persistence, and good habits. A good investor is one that has the discipline to buy great businesses and let them work for him over a long time. He just sits on his hands, do nothing, and make money. This is hard to do. The way to install discipline is by defining and creating habits. This is similar to practicing karate. If you want to become a black belt in karate, you must train constantly. A karate black belt is not something you earn and then you stop training. No. Once attained, you must continue to practice and hone your skills. So you continue training 3 times a week for the rest of your life. You already created the habit, so it's automatic. Same as the investor. Define good investment habits and stick to them. These are things like being frugal, effective time management, getting enough sleep, daily workouts, daily reading diverse subjects, etc. I'll do a video about this topic if you're interested. Just leave me a comment below saying, hey, I want to know more about this, and I'll do it. The fourth characteristic of a money mindset is that you build and apply mental models or frameworks. This provides organization to your thinking and guidelines for implementation. For example, Warren Buffett's goal is to grow his wealth through compounding. Buffett, through his company Berkshire Hathaway, does this by owning businesses that can generate profits. He takes those profits and reinvests them in the same business or in other businesses that generate more profits. He has done this for over 50 years using a basic framework, which I describe in this video. Another example would be a passive investment model, where the investor decides to go with a shotgun approach by just owning a piece of the 500 largest businesses in America. It's a quite simple and elegant solution. In his mind, all he needs to do is invest consistently in an ETF or fund that holds the stocks of the S&P 500 index. That's it. There you have it, the money mindset, the first element you need to become a successful investor. If this video was useful to you, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel and encourages me to do more videos. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Remember, always be compounding. Take care.